Oh
what happened to
no,
the
yeah.
music?
See, that's the kind of week it is. That was like a
Live?
drum fill.
All right, we're just live. I'm not even going to do a joke. It's Business Plans Friday here show at January 16th Studios. Featuring analyst Cole Matt Moscardi. That's true.
That is true. That's true.
On today's weekly wrap-up, silent CEOs, a vocal Mackenzie Scott, and the sad legacy, the dwindling legacy, I guess, of Target's Brian Cornell. Wah, wah.
Wait, what was his prior legacy?
I don't know. I feel like Target used to represent something. I mean, maybe it's all in my head, or maybe they fooled me. I don't know. Let's get to Target later.
Yeah, we'll get to Target later.
Oh, actually, no. We're going to get to it right at the top of the show. Our show today is being sponsored by FreeFlow Analytics, the only platform measuring board power, connections, and performance for free. That's good. At least that's good.
Yeah, there's something good about something. Yeah, there's a sponsor of the show.
I was doing something in public today. I'm not going to name what it was, and I overheard some people laughing. And I actually went over there. I seriously, I went over there and I was like, what? Like, how do you feel joy? Like, what's wrong? What's going on over here? Like, what's happening?
that must have been the creepiest
going on?
thing that happened to him all day. Yeah.
No, I think they felt embarrassed for feeling even a moment of levity. Are you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do the story of the week.
Yeah. Well,
that's very patriotic music because it's a patriotic company and country. Yeah.
So you actually, I did peek ahead, and I think you're covering Brian Cornell later. So I'm not going to go too much into depth on Target, but let me just, the first story, it's all ICE related, but I start with Target. Target silent after federal immigration agents arrest Twin Cities employees. So this is there was reporting that ICE was beating up their arresting their employees on the property, on Target property. So earlier in the week we looked at 17 publicly traded Minnesotan companies to see if any of them had made any statements. They had not. I keep checking Target's website. I thought after seeing that article, because I didn't know about this when we first reported about the Minnesota company. So I thought after this, certainly they would put out something because, as we're seeing around my city, people are not showing up to work. They're not showing up to school, and a lot of industries that are extremely important to our existence, like service, nursing, whatever, jobs that we need to operate. So I thought Target would definitely say something at this point, right? Because the fear that their employees must be feeling right now must be off the charts, right? So, but no, they still haven't. In fact,
they did. He said some stuff. We'll get.
They did say some stuff.
I've got some stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't see anything on their public facing website. So how would I know that they had said stuff? Anyway, the only thing I did, and correct me if I'm wrong later. The only thing I did find was the last press release was something said that Target expands its style offerings with exclusive bedding collection from acclaimed interior designer Jeremiah Brent.
That's
the last.
That's in the fight against ICE. You are going to be comfortable. That's important.
And I think one of the other things they said, I actually think you pulled as well. So I'm going to skip over that. The other ICE related stories this is part of the first story of the week. Bill Ackman defends donation to ICE officer who shot Minnesota woman. He said that he's presumed innocent until proven guilty. I mean, look, we've joked a lot that whenever Bill Ackman does anything, you do the opposite. But even for Bill, I cannot believe he is willing to publicly put his terrible face on this. This is the statement he needs to make, because let's just say that they did an investigation, they did the evidence, they let all kinds of people investigate, not just the federal government. And let's just say that she was in the wrong, or maybe that it was an ambiguous situation, and the police officer gets exonerated. Whatever, it's still the murder of a young mother in Minneapolis. Bill Ackman, this is a step that how do we get here, Bill Ackman?
He didn't get fired. He doesn't personally.
How do we get here? But how do we get here?
I don't understand what you even donate to. He doesn't. He still has his job at ICE, right? Like he didn't.
Well, there might be some. I'm sure there will eventually be some civil lawsuits. No,
sure, but doesn't ICE
from her spouse, from her wife?
It's like ICE, the organization.
I don't know.
Has to handle
Bill Ackman. You are an icky,
he's
horrible
a nominee for.
He is. I mean, this guy. I just can't believe we've come to this point in our U.S. history, in our business world, this fast. I mean, look, it's one thing to make side deals with the president, but this, like Bill Ackman, like I don't understand this.
Declines happen fast. This is what happens when a couple of people have all the money
Bill Ackman,
and all the voice.
Gross.
That's what happens. It's just
And then at the same time, I don't really understand this part of it. Did Bill Ackman used to hold a lot of shares in Chipotle?
So he used to own 9.9% of Chipotle.
So Chipotle actually came out immediately. Good for you, Chipotle, and clarified that Bill Ackman is not affiliated with its chain whatsoever after billionaire's ICE agent donation. So
he owned 9.9%. He sold it in the last year or two, like not that long ago. He actually there was a rumor online after the shooting that Bill Ackman, or after the donation rather, that Bill Ackman owned Chipotle. So Chipotle was just coming out and being like, he's not affiliated with his company. Like,
well, hey, in 2026, even that is like a major statement.
I love that. They didn't say anything specific about it. They just said like pure. It was like one sentence, and they were just like, he's not affiliated with the company. That's all,
right?
Yeah, that's fighting back now.
And I also lumped in this other thing that's going on. The first story really is about ICE, but I had to include this other thing. Maybe this is just, I don't even know what this first category is called, but there's also this week a Ford worker I don't know if you saw this, was suspended.
I saw the video.
So Trump was there and he called him a pedophile protector, and Ford has already suspended him. And of course the union thankfully is fighting back against that suspension. And that worker is getting donations, but I don't know where we're at with that either. I don't know Ford, but Ford CEO, remind me of his name, Jim
Farley.
Jim Farley is also in the news today. Basically bragging that Trump will always pick up my phone calls, but I need help with China because China, because they're competing. It's like, again, the state of our business world and capitalism is so bizarre to me. It's like, why do you need help? Build a better company,
do a better car,
like whatever.
Capitalism?
I just I'm so confused by everything. So how do you get suspended anyway for mouthing off against a publicly elected official? I don't even know. Is that like, why can't a worker do that in the first place? But anyway,
I mean,
I just want to throw that in.
I get that if you're Ford, you have to do something, and so you do something, and then the end result is nothing. Like that,
because the union, I'm sure, will prove that
will
you
win,
can't suspend
and
them for this,
it's not.
right?
But Ford, I don't think really cares. They have to look like, no, you can't yell at the president when we invite the president.
I don't know if did he yell at him or did he just?
I don't agree with that, but it doesn't. I see what they're doing.
Well,
the first part, the ICE part.
Yeah.
I mean.
That's the first story.
I've gone up and down with the insanity of the stuff that's going on in the United States. Oh, by the way, move your camera so it's on your face because it's like off.
Oh,
your face right now.
Nobody's looking at me.
Everybody wants to see your face.
I look haggard and horrible.
But I've been up and down with everything going on in this camera or this country. Everything going on everywhere. Like, who knows? What's gonna happen next? And it's all kind of terrible, and nobody stands up, nobody fights, and we've been talking about it for a while. The ICE thing, who now are talking like they have immunity from all prosecution, who are now invading every city.
It's coming from above. Didn't the department, the Homeland Secretary, shouldn't she say that?
I mean, they shot a woman. Said that, or someone said shot a woman. ICE has been basically killing people the whole time. They finally shot a white woman who had nothing to do with, wasn't in it. an immigration enforcement. She was literally just like like she was heckling and protesting, and they shot her. And the level of attention that it gets, and the level of understanding that you now have, that they will just kill you. There's nothing you can do.
They already did it.
It is pretty
right?
terrifying.
Yeah,
It is pretty
bad.
terrifying.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
Yeah. I haven't had
I'm
this, like-
sad and
Yeah.
angry.
I haven't had this pit in my stomach since COVID, I think, and this is like the source of this pit is completely unnecessary. I mean, like viral attacks will happen, but this one is like a human-made attack, which is all the more dispiriting. Yeah, let's move on. Second big story of the week. Unfortunately, I got to go back to Elon Musk. I mean, this story just kind of wouldn't quit this week. I don't know that anything will come of it, but Grok is blocked from undressing images in places where it's illegal after global backlash. So I guess people were asking it to make women and children nude, and it was doing it.
Yeah.
So far, Malaysia and Indonesia blocked it. There's an investigation from the UK. There's an investigation from the California Department of Justice. I don't know. Where are we going with this? Where are we
All
going
I
with
know-
Elon Musk? I don't even know.
Forget Elon Musk. No, it's
Well-
the man baby thing. All I know is that like the very first thing you would do if you were creating AI that can make images, the very first thing you could do is say, how are people going to make porn out of this or exploit other people with it, right? Like that's the very first thing. Number one safety thing is like, can this be used to sexualize minors or like fabricate images that can cause wars? And like, how is it going to get misused? First question. And Elon Musk did not ask that question. In fact, they have to actively allow this kind of stuff, which means the 13-year-old man baby who is on his way to being a trillionaire is bored because he runs 5 companies. No one holds him accountable for anything ever. No one votes against this fuckface. No one.
The only one holding him even remotely accountable is a few American consumers, few European consumers who stopped buying Teslas, and people who are flipping off Cybertrucks or giving the middle finger to, like, that's it, like that. And what good is
That's
that?
where we're at.
There's
You're
no
like,
good at. I mean,
that 13-year-old man baby, all he wants to do, and he's very open about this, is like have sex with everyone he possibly can and babies.
which he is doing.
Which he is doing. In fact, Ashley St. Clair, who is a conservative influencer who he had a baby with, and he was trying to keep it secret, she just sued XAI because someone used Grok to sexualize her, to undress her.
And what's happening? They're using Grok for this, and then they're posting it publicly. Is that what's happening?
Then they post it or circulate it, and
on X or
and
something? Like, this is just
you can post it on Signal to your
Or
friends.
anywhere, right?
You can do
Right.
you can do anything. Once it exists, it exists, right?
Right,
and
right.
This is a woman who is a hard right conservative influencer, whatever the fuck that is, who said in 2024 that Musk was basically essential to free speech and, quote, truly the only things they will ban are things that are against the law on Grok. Like that's what they would ban. And apparently not. They will not ban things that are against the law. And that's because there's a 13-year-old man baby who wants to see everyone undressed. Like, this is his brain in action. And that is
How
who's
does this-
running one of the most like valuable public companies on earth and who has the most money on earth. He's literally an infant. I don't understand. I don't.
Let me ask you
he's
this.
a fucking baby.
Let me ask you this: Apple, the company Apple is really known for, not that you can't access porn when you're using Apple products, but it's really known for not making it easy. And even in the autocorrect, it's like it's even hard to type a swear. They're very restrictive, or they can be. They used to be pretty restrictive with which apps were allowed on their app store. Why were they? Why is XI even available at the App Store on Apple? Like, when did Apple
Elon
give
Musk-
up its fight?
Elon Musk sued, saying that Apple's store discriminates.
Yeah, but nude pictures of children?
Everyone's a fucking baby. No one stands up for any No one has any principles. We're talking about pure capitalism.
When did
We're in a
this-
transactional world right
again,
now.
Again, the
Where
rhetorical
it's
question
not
I keep
what's
asking.
right, it's what you can get.
The rhetorical question I keep asking everyone, which I don't need an answer to because I don't want the answers. How did this happen so quickly? Like, how did we drain the toilet?
We
How?
elected a man baby. We elected an 85-year-old peepaw, an angry man baby. I mean, Trump
I don't know.
is Musk, right? Like they are just.
But even his allies.
Grumpy, give me what I want, man babies.
But even his allies and a lot of the people who used to work in his administration, his current allies, people like Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, they all warned the world about him too. So I just
sycophants.
right.
Yeah,
So I
look,
just don't understand how we got here so quickly. Anyway, let's move on.
We're at
unfortunately,
the nadir of men.
unfortunately, the next story is about Trump as well because this really is this kind of week. This was the first reporting I saw that actually quantified what's happening in our current corporate world. Trump canceled or stopped enforcement against 166 corporations in his first year. Many of them were donors. Now, the three companies that highlighted in this article were, and which you probably remember, Ripple. They donated $5 million. And then the SEC dropped its case against the company. Remember Nikola, the guy who faked, who's faking his whole enterprise. He got a presidential pardon. Donated $2 million to Trump. Milton's legal team included Attorney General Pam Bondi's brother, Brad Bondi. There you go. And then Amazon, which was facing an Equal Employment Opportunity Commission lawsuit for allegedly discriminating against pregnant workers. Trump signed a bill to help that go away. And the reporting shows that Amazon donated $1 million to Trump's inaugural fund, another $1 million for streaming the inauguration on Amazon Video, and then backing Trump's $300 million Golden Ballroom, and then agreeing to stream The Apprentice with unspecified payments directly to Donald Trump. And then the last part, which is just complete bizarre cronyism to me, because I don't know who the hell would ever watch this, paying $28 million to First Lady Melania Trump for her documentary, which will air on Prime, which nobody's going to watch. So this is just, a beautiful splash of Bezos-inspired cronyism. Let's not forget that Bezos, remember, even the Washington Post decided for the first time ever not to endorse a presidential candidate. So, this
Washington
is just.
Post is now like a pointless. Like you
So this
can't
is
trust anything coming out of it because he's stepped into like pull stories and change them.
But this is the first amount of reporting that is actually starting to quantify what's going on in the last year. Go ahead.
When we're done with this administration, whatever comes next,
Is it going to end?
I don't know if it ends or not, but the amount of money, the amount of transference of money from regular people, like all the way up into the pockets of 7 fucking man babies, is going to be a staggering sum of money. Staggering sum.
On top of that, listen to our other show, The Proxy Countdown, after it's released this week, because some of the things that we're going to be highlighting there are these the outrageously escalating awards going to CEOs, because, again, it's another area where there are no checks and balances. The investors are just sitting on their hands, not fighting back against these absurd payouts.
GameStop's Ryan Cohen just gave himself $34 billion potential award for a defunct video game selling company.
You can get a video game at the library. Go to your library instead. And then finally, the fourth story of the week is still on Trump, and I apologize. Hopefully this won't happen next week. But we started off the week talking about this. Trump tries to reduce CEO pay and halt billions in stock buybacks at defense contractors. He's not happy about something going on with defense companies. So now he's becoming an ESG King Kong. He is now the greatest ESG analyst out there because he is now doing what I wish that investors would do and ESG professionals would do, which is trying to do something with CEO pay. And then remember, he also threatened to sideline Exxon with Venezuela because he's mad at Darren Woods for speaking the truth. So, this just a crazy world going out there.
This is all one story. It feels
I guess
horrible.
so.
It's like one man
different
baby
tentacles.
given an army and all the money in the world. That's what it is.
So what's
That's
the most
one
important thing?
story.
Is it the most important thing that corporations and CEOs are suddenly completely silent and complicit with our world?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going with that's the story of the week.
How did we get here so fast? The whole thing with George Floyd, that's where a lot of this started, right? With this woke washing and CEOs bending knees and stuff. Now we have like these secret police forces terrorizing any person of color across the country. I mean, if your skin is not white, you could be in danger, even if you're born in the U.S. Even if you have your papers on you,
lived here for 100 years, it
you could
make a
be
difference.
you should be living in fear, and I don't know how corporations employ so many of these people. These are the people that help run our country. They're our neighbors and our friends. How the hell are they not weighing on this shit? Really, honestly, like how you could have something to say that wouldn't put you on the left or right. You don't have to come out and say that like you're a big giant Democrat. You can just have like civil words for people. You can just help people kind of get through the. I just really the silence is nonsense.
Part of the
Your
reason
silence
why
is nonsense.
Part of the reason why,
and you're paid to talk. By the way, you get paid so much money. Use your stupid mouths, honestly.
Well, they use their mouths for all sorts of shit. We're reading about what
constantly.
Bill Ackman thinks, but where's everybody else?
We track on these shows every week that they will give you advice about everything.
Everything. You put
how
a
to write your
microphone in their
resume,
face.
how you shouldn't go to college anymore because only their friends should be smart. How to mow your lawn, whatever. But this, like
I just study. I don't know, it must have been 3 years ago now, that where someone on LinkedIn was complaining, why doesn't BlackRock support more DEI proposals and proxies and stuff like that, or businesses? And so I went through and I pulled the pictures and backgrounds of every single portfolio manager that works on active equities at BlackRock, and 96% of them were men and 95% of them were white, right? This is the people that you'd expect to maybe say something would be like, at a minimum, would be a black CEO or a Hispanic woman leading a company saying this is not right, because it directly affects not just my employees and my stakeholders and our communities, but like I could be a target personally. Right, like there's nothing separating me from, like, I am them. Like, it's all the same. But you want to know what? There are none. It's like,
I wonder what it's going to take. Do you think it's like, gonna? You think it's gonna something more horrific's going to happen? And what's it going to take?
I think we're on our way into a Mad Max sort of, like, everyone is literally out for themselves. It has to get to everyone is out for themselves before you start to rebuild, and you have to like, this is going to sound weird, but you have to get rid of men. You have to get rid of them. Like they
that doesn't help me very much.
Disarm them.
Well,
like, send them to like.
I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of disarming men. But look, this is why my focus and direction at this company has always been one simple thing: get women in leadership.
Just put them in power.
Let women run things for 100 years, and then I will agree. Look, 100 years from now, when I'm 4,000 years old, I will help generate a quantitative study to see how women did. And then look, if it's failing, I'll consider other things. But let's let women run the companies.
They will fail.
The stock exchanges, the banks, the governments.
I'm
whatever.
just saying, there's going to be problems.
Men can still work there. Men can still work there.
There would be all sorts of problems, but it doesn't matter because men had a shot, and this is what they do. We devolve to our basest instinct, which is a 13-year-old boy looking to get laid and blow shit up.
But more than that,
all
that's
the money,
the important.
They amass all the sex.
They
and we
hoard
hate everyone
weapons.
else.
They hoard wealth. They threaten you with
It's
bigger
unbelievable.
weapons. Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
Anyway,
this is too much.
yeah.
Let's
So that's
move
the
on.
story of the week. Let's go on to good
Oh.
list. So is there a good list this week?
Oh my God. My good list is horrible in the sense that she's doing whatever she can.
I like my good list.
I'll start with mine because it's just quicker, and it's just a reaction to the manosphere, and it sucks that that this is what it is. But Mackenzie Scott, the headline is Mackenzie Scott is using her $26 billion philanthropy push to rescue organizations in danger after the Trump administration's funding cuts. So
Hey, look,
she's just
that's
doing
great.
what she can, right? I mean,
Yeah, well, she's the one. Like
She's the
her
one-
husband's giving $300 million to fucking the ball, like a ballroom,
ballroom. A
creation
ballroom.
and
A
like
ballroom, yeah.
inaugurations and whatever the fuck he wants.
And look,
And
there
sh-
would be more. And to my point that I just made in the last segment, that if we had more women in power, we had women owning companies, we had women CEOs getting these huge stock awards, then they would be in position to spend their money in ways like this. But the men aren't going to do it. We know that.
They don't do
in
it.
fact, you know what the men do, and we see it time after time. They give the money to their own family foundations, and they feel like they've accomplished something. They give it to their dopey kids like Buffett.
Now they
and-
put it in black
and then the
boxes,
ki-
donor advised
and,
funds.
and somehow these geniuses of their offspring, they're going to help solve societal issues. No, I mean they're not qualified for that, frankly. But
Mackenzie
anyway,
Scott's ex-husband said it's hard to give away money.
that's
That
true.
was his
Mackenzie
quote
Scott
from,
at
like,
least
a
is just
month
writing
ago.
checks. So that's my good list. What's your good
All right,
list?
my good list is, and you have to like think a step or two down from this, but RFK Jr.'s health department is studying health effects of cell phones.
Okay, which like health effects, like which part of it, like the radiation or
Yes, the
the effect on your
radiation.
brain,
The,
okay.
the part that has largely
The conspiracy
been, like,
theory part.
studied, the conspiracy theory part, like, but it's been studied. The science is basically like it doesn't seem to conclude that there's any negative health effects. But RFK Jr.'s out there saying you don't know how bad Wi-Fi is and cell phones are.
He
They're
does, right.
irradiating us. Our
Who's
kids are
studying
living
it?
in a
He
soup.
fired all the scientists.
Okay,
Who's
there
even
are no
studying
scientists.
this?
But here's why
Go
this
ahead.
is great, right?
Go ahead.
Because even if they come out with spurious, horrible, non-scientific research that
Which
says
they
your
will.
cell phone and Wi-Fi will give you ball
She
sack
will.
cancer, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's spurious and horrible and terrible. It could mean that people get off their fucking phones
Really?
and off the
Stop.
computer. I think if there are people out there who are thinking like this, and if the health department comes out with something that says you need Wi-Fi in your home is a danger, it causes cancer, and it's worse on kids. It doesn't matter what the science is because nobody actually reads the science anyway. There is someone somewhere who will turn off their Wi-Fi, and that would make me happy. I feel like that would be great. De-radicalize yourselves by getting offline. Stop watching Netflix and start fighting for something. Go out with a friend. Have a barbecue. Do anything else. I love it. I think it's a chance to do something.
You're dreaming. And how about
Sure.
the fact that the head of our health doesn't even exercise scientific theory anymore. He exercises conspiracy theory. So he decides.
It's all men deciding
But
what men.
he
what they
decides
think.
first, but not by observing data and observing facts.
No,
he
of course
decides
not.
first what's happening, and then he goes and he sniffs around for something to support. He looks for New York Post articles and things coming out of Boyer Research or whatever to support his.
You know,
his
I talked to
claims.
somebody today who works in the ESG space and
Dopes.
governance space, and
Yeah.
it was saying that, like, you know, the portfolio managers that they work with, they love to talk about how they pick great management teams, and they
How do they define
basically
that?
stick
How
with
do-
them, and
yeah.
like they think great management teams make great companies, and those are great
How do
investments.
they quantify that? By the way,
And I said, yeah, what's their quantification? It was like, there is none. They use like,
Zero
the
scientific
ROI and like the whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, how do you pick a great management team? Do you know if that's a person? Do you know if that's luck? Do you know if the product that they developed 40 years before this management team even showed up is all they're making the money on? Are they just moving money around? Like, you just think efficiency is great? What is great? What is a great management team? And in the end, no one ever has an answer to that.
Yeah, no
just
one really
like
knows.
RFK Jr. never has an answer for why the hell he's studying cell phones. It's just what I feel. It's whatever I feel. And
right.
sometimes what you feel will be right. All right, let's do Assholiest. Are you ready? Because It's not going to get better.
I'm already down. Is this going to make me feel worse?
It's going to be worse. We already talked about, you mentioned Target and Brian Cornell. Brian Cornell's my first nominee for Asshole of the Week.
Wait, before I get there, is Brian Cornell, is he still currently the CEO? Has he transitioned to executive chair yet?
Oh, no. He's executive chair now, I think.
So he's
It's
not
January.
but he's not. When do you know when the transition happened?
I thought it was like Jan 1 or Jan 15
Okay, all
or
right.
something.
Keep
It's
going.
like
I'm
right
gonna look
around
that up.
now.
Keep going.
All right, but here is, I'm going to give you some quotes of things that Brian Cornell has said, because you said they've been silent, they haven't said anything. Here are the quotes. These are real quotes from Brian Cornell, the man himself.
You're not making this up?
I'm not making any of these quotes up. These are real quotes right from the mouth of Brian Cornell. I watched the videos. Quote, that could have been...
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
February 1st. He's still currently the CEO. So he actually is still in charge of the messaging.
So Feb 1. Okay, so it's
but,
still
but
him.
I'm saying that you can rightfully place any of your your
anger at Brian Cornell.
You
Yes.
can still do this. Go ahead.
And-
Go ahead.
All right. Quote, that could have been one of my Target team members.
Wait, what?
Quote, just listen. I'm going to go
Okay.
through all the quotes. Quote, we have to be the role models that drive change, and our voice is important. And we've got to make sure that we represent our company principles, our values, our company purpose on the issues that are important to our teams. He's saying stuff like this. Quote, the eyes of America and the eyes of the world were on Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's true. It still are. Go ahead.
Quote, as a Target team, we've huddled, we've consoled, we've witnessed horrific scenes similar to what's playing out now and wept that not enough is changing. And as a team, we vowed to face pain with purpose.
I know where you're going with this, by the
We've
way.
got to stand
I think
up
I've discovered
and do
where you're going.
more.
Yeah.
We've got to stand up and do more.
Yeah.
That's what he said in 2020
How many years ago?
with George Floyd. That's what he said. He went on every fucking TV show.
So
and
less
he
than
talked,
6
put,
years
They
ago.
put out a statement. They put out
Yeah.
an actual statement. Target did, and
As they
and
should
said
have.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
That this is when they stepped into. Every other CEO was talking about DEI and how we had to do more because there was outrage on the streets, and everyone was coming out and saying, "Oh, we've got to do more. We got to stand in solidarity with our black brothers and sisters." Am I right? Am I right, folks?
Well, you know what's crazy? On top of that, is that this is a company headquartered in Minneapolis, in a state with a very proud progressive history. I mean, this is not like it's not like they represent the constituents of Oklahoma. I mean, they're in Minnesota, for Christ's sakes. I mean,
and that Renee Good gets shot and killed by an ICE agent. There are raids of like, it doesn't matter if you're an undocumented immigrant or you're just a person. There's no due process. They are taking people away from their families. They are locking them up with no reason, no nothing. Where the fuck are you, Brian Cornell, in your city?
I don't get
where you-
again.
This is all the bullshit that you said at the time. You could literally say every single one of those sentences right now today. You've said nothing.
Again, I know I'm at risk for sounding childish, which I often am on this show, because most of the time my opinion just devolves into like everything's crazy, which I think I might be right after saying for years that everything's crazy. But I, just as a leader of people, especially like, and I'm not even talking about leading a team of 10. I mean, how many? At least 100,000 people probably work at Target, if not more.
Way more. Yeah.
Just as a leader, how about just some consoling words? How about just like, has Trump removed our ability to like take care of each other? Because he's just an elected official. This is just an elected official in a democracy. So
here's the thing.
What
with
about
Brian
just
Cornell?
What about just calming words? What about just supporting each other? We don't have to announce that we vote for this or vote for that. We can just take care of each other, Brian.
Well, just in case you were worried, Michael Fidelki, the incoming CEO, didn't say anything either. And both
Maybe
of
he
them
will.
know,
Maybe he's
both
on
of
February 1st.
Both of them recognize that Target, the brand, the company, has the potential to last longer in legacy than any one of these elected officials.
Well, what do you
the
mean?
legacy
We
of
know-
Target,
We know it probably will.
it's already existed for what, 40 years? Like,
Not to mention it has no identity anymore. It's just everyone hates it.
that's 10x a presidential term.
Yeah.
And you've said nothing. And just in case you were wondering if maybe someone on the board would say something,
Go ahead.
Derica Rice on this board
Oh, I forgot
flipped
that.
on
yeah.
DEI at Disney. So doubt he's
Right.
going to say something here.
Yeah.
He's not going to step out. Dimitri Stockton flipped on DEI.
And these are two black men, right?
Two black men. He
Yeah.
did it at Deere and Black & Decker. He's not going to say anything. Grace Puma is on the board of Target. She's actually on the board of Phillips 66 also, who just met with Trump about Venezuelan oil,
Oh
and
my
they're
God.
into it. They're a
Yeah.
refiner. She's not going to come out and say something. How about Christine Leahy, who's the CEO of CDW, which is like the, electronics parts.
If
She
you say
actually
so.
has an $11 billion worth of government contracts over the last decade, $270 million last year. What's she got? She going to come out and say like, oh, the Trump administration is bad? No, they have government contracts. They're not going to do that. David Abney's on the board of Northrop Grumman. They're definitely not going to say anything. They're actually
No.
supplying ICE with shit.
Yeah.
Monica Lozano also was on the board of Disney. Brian Cornell and Michael Fidelki, they're both on the board. They run this board. That means a minority of directors who are left, who could have said something or might have said something or would have thought about saying something, definitely are not going to, since everybody else on the board has interest. This is the
Yeah,
problem.
you're
where everyone's
highlighting
silent.
You're highlighting something that I never wanted to get to this point when we started this company. I never wanted it to be important in this way, but you're highlighting that how important it is to know who sits on your boards and who runs your companies, because there is an inner network of people who control these things. And I don't mean this to sound like a conspiracy theory, because it's not. This is just backed up by the data. And what everything you just said is not based on a conspiracy. It's just you're just demonstrating
Those are just the
all the
people
way
who
these
were there.
tentacles intersect. So more than ever, this is a reason why consumers need to understand who runs these companies, and investors need to be involved with making change, because the alternative democracy that is this annual meeting that goes on every year, it might be a conduit to make some change, right? I mean, it's possible if you let it.
All I know is that
If you do it collectively. Go ahead.
Like, I'm in a race to flag humans that do these kind of things right now, where I'm coding it. Free Flow Analytics has got a tremendous amount of data. They're working
Stuff's
with me on,
important.
like, this stuff's important, and the output of it will be a list of people who, and all the companies that they're on, who are bending the knee and allowing this stuff to happen, who are unwilling to speak up, who are unwilling to basically risk anything of their own, their act at their own self-interest. They can say shareholders all
that's
day
what it is.
long,
That's
but
key.
that's not what it
You
is.
should just stop right there. It's all about self-interest, right?
So that's
It's
number
about
one, Brian.
maintaining their status quo with their wealth and maintaining their status quo with their network.
Yeah,
right? That's
you're
it.
never gonna. Yeah, that's it. It's
All
human.
right, keep going.
So number two, Brian Ackman or Bill Ackman. Sorry, Brian Cornell's number one. Bill Ackman's number two.
Oh, I don't want to hear this. Go ahead.
Look, I don't have to say that much. This is actually super fast, because Bill Ackman donated $10,000 on a GoFundMe to the ICE officer Jonathan Ross.
so he
know
public-
the fucking guy's name. The
Wait,
guy's
hold on.
name is Jonathan Ross.
Yeah.
Say
Wait, hold
his
on.
name.
Yeah, hold on. He publicly did this? Like, he announced this?
No, so you have the option to make your donation visible
And
or
he did that.
anonymous, and he decided that
Yeah.
because what does he have to hide? It should be visible. What he
Okay,
said.
so he's doing. So this is a political gesture.
He said
clearly.
he said it wasn't political. He
Oh,
said
please.
this is his evidence. He said he tried to donate to the family of the woman who was shot, Karen,
What do you mean
Renee
tried?
Good, but their GoFundMe had closed already,
Why would it close?
as in it expired. Right?
Why?
Like
Why
it's-
would it expire?
Because they hit their target goal or whatever.
So
It's
why
not
can't
like
he reach out to
open-ended.
them and get them a check?
One of the richest men in the country cannot figure out how to donate $10,000 to the family of a woman who's shot for doing nothing.
So he
He's
at
a
least
fucking
knows.
liar.
But by saying that, he realizes the optics of his monstrosity, right? Like, he knows what
He
he's doing.
immediately stepped out and said, "You are presumed innocent until proven guilty." He
But what
immediately
about her-
used
but-
this as a way to get on Fox.
But what about
News.
her? Oh, I mean,
Of course, he did. That has nothing to do with it. This is
she
all
can't
about,
even face. She can't even face a trial. She can't face
It's
anything.
all
anymore.
about listening to himself fucking yap. He just wants everyone to pay attention to him.
I don't
'Cause
get this. I don't.
He
I don't
doesn't have to
understand this
do
one. I don't
any
get
of this.
one.
He
I don't
could have
get this.
given the family of that guy $10,000 in cash by a
I don't get
courier
this.
with
I
no
don't
name
understand
on it.
this.
But no, he chose to put his name on it. He chose to only give it to him. He said he tried to give it to her, but it already closed.
He said that? He actually
yes,
said this.
That's what he said. He's he's trying to be incredibly visible about what he's doing so that everyone will talk about Bill Ackman again. So he gets
we
like
are.
1 million Twitter followers.
This is the
Like,
worst.
What a
You can end this.
self-interested.
You can end this category right now because my vote is
and
already in.
But he's part of a much bigger problem, which is it gets back to aiding and abetting ICE, right? Like AT&T, Booz Allen, Comcast, Dell, General Dynamics, L3 Harris, Motorola Solutions, they all have direct contracts with ICE. They
That's
all
true.
have a lot to lose. Everybody who is basically out there yapping and talking, there is an entire, you want to talk conspiracy theory. The conspiracy is that people with money do not want to lose their fucking money, and they will not say anything that will jeopardize any amount of money that they could lose. That's not about shareholders and whatever. That's self-interest. And it's all men who are self-interested. Women not involved in this conversation at all.
And look,
Bill
I don't.
Ackman, shut your fucking mouth. No one cares.
I don't know the full. There might be some decisions on. There might be some reasons behind this, like some financial reasons behind this that I'm not aware of. But there's a very small airline. I know that there are. I only heard of it because it runs direct flights from Portland to New Haven, which is unusual. I didn't even know that could be a possibility. It's called Avalo Airlines.
Oh yeah, they're the ones transporting all the immigrants.
So as of 9 days ago,
detained.
They announced that they are ending their relationship with ICE. So I'm just putting it out there that
It's possible.
that you can do it. And again, maybe they did it for financial reasons. I don't even care. But you can do it. You can end your relationship with ICE. And you know what? You can make up some financial reasons if you're worried about the political storm. But you can end these relationships. I mean, it can happen. Okay, Motorola Solutions, Dell.
You know what I want to do? I want to take a flight now on Avalo Airlines up to Portland.
If it still exists, if that route still exists.
I mean, who knows? I'm not
Who
actually going
knows?
to do that
All
anyway. All right, and last, and this is just a lame last one because I saw this headline.
Go ahead.
And it's basically men who are from Stanford who keep going out and saying they love people who didn't go to Stanford. Basically,
What are we doing? This is the
Like-
and again we've been tracking this all year. But why are the elite, the CEOs, the wealth hoarders? Why are they telling
They want you to be
regular-
dumb.
Why are they telling regular people to keep themselves dumb? What are we doing?
This is like Reaganism, like on steroids.
This
it's
is
like
sad.
they've been
This is sad to me.
defunding
Is it
education.
because is it
now
because
they
Sergey,
can just tell you not to go?
is it because Sergey Brin realizes that if you did go to college and took some ethics courses or whatever, you might realize that the amount of power that Alphabet has is out of control or something?
So
Like, is that it?
here's the headlines. Google's Sergey Brin admits he's hiring tons of workers without degrees. Quote, they just figure things out on their own in some weird corner.
And
That's his
what
quote.
the f does that mean? What
look,
kind of a
I am not-
condescending statement is that? What again? Like we allow these people to speak in like these like unquantifiable feelings based nonsense. Like what does that mean? What are they? Who is? First of all, tons. How many workers is he talking about without? No, really, I want to know how many thousands of workers he's hired without degrees, and I want to know who they is. Who's figuring out what? What problems are they working on where? And what's the weird corner? Like what is intrinsically weird about these people and their action? Like Sergey Brin, what are you talking about? There should be some trigger that when you're this dumb and egotistical, you should have to like release back some of your wealth back into the public market, right? Like
So
he shouldn't be allowed to hold. There should be a tax against stupidity and arrogance.
So it turns out that 76, according to Google itself, 76% of Google people have a bachelor's or master's, and then another 16% have a PhD.
So who is he talking
the
about? He's talking
tons
about
is like three guys
People in-
named Carl who like.
or are we talking about like workers in like the Philippines and in India? Is that what he's talking about? Who don't have like
of course, there's no
accredited
metric.
degrees from U.S. Like,
I'm
what the hell is he
just-
talking
what I-
about?
Like, I'm just tired of these guys who all went to Stanford. Regardless if they dropped out or not, they all went to elite
All right, this is
schools or
triggering me too
got
much.
into
Can we move
elite
on?
schools.
I can't do this anymore.
Uh,
I can't. I
saying
can't
shit like
because
this.
because just the idea of especially of a company of their
Well,
stature that relies on, we're talking about scientific theory before, but relies on the history of scientific and mathematical discovery to even be in existence. This guy is talking down the benefits of a college degree. Again,
well,
like
he's specifically saying that he hires tons of people who
who
don't.
who just magically figure things out in
the
some
corner.
weird corner, not
in the
just
corner.
a corner, a weird corner.
Yeah.
I mean, this
so
guy
here-
is an idiot. I'm sorry. All right. I'm
your
losing my
options are
mind.
Brian
today.
Cornell, Bill
I'm
Ackman,
losing
or
my mind.
Sergey Brin, and the men
I mean,
from
these
Stanford.
there should be I don't do ties. It should be a tie, but I'm gonna go to Bill Ackman on this one for just being a
Yeah.
monster of a loser.
It's really the worst possible thing you could do. It's so patently obvious
bad.
that he's just about his own
And,
visibility.
and I didn't realize the thing about trying to donate to Renee Good's family.
That's what he
that
said,
makes
yeah.
it. That makes it's a
But their GoFundMe
100x
had closed.
multiplier of how much of an asshole this guy is. I mean,
All right, let's
all
do headlines, winners.
Yeah, 'cause I gotta go to the bathroom. Come on, let's get going.
We'll move quick. I've got two headlines.
I only have one.
Will you do yours?
Tech billionaire forced to rename humongous yacht after realizing it spelled something horrible backwards. Now, did you see this story?
No, I did not.
All right, so let's just play along. Can you guess the tech billionaire? I mean, we know a lot of them have humongous yachts,
It
but
would
who do you think
be-
the tech billionaire is?
Well, we know Bezos built his in like the Netherlands.
Is that your
and
guess?
So, no, so we know he has it. I
Well, they all
assume it's
have it.
another tech billionaire who built another one. I'd say Zuck.
It's close enough. It's the kind of the new MAGA prince, Larry Ellison. Okay, so
Oh,
that's
he's still
the tech
got some
billionaire.
money to spend. Oh, okay.
And can you even guess? Even this threw me. I mean, can you even guess what it is? What it says when it's spelled backwards?
you said backwards. It's
Yeah.
going to be hard to guess that.
I know.
mean,
Like, it's so ridiculous.
I mean, it's going to be like, is it going to spell like it's named Lana, which is anal backwards or
Right.
something?
I wish.
right?
I
don't
wish
know.
we were still at that sophomore part of our history here in the United States, but it's almost worse. It's worse. It's and all of this is kind of a summation of all your complaining today about all the 13-year-old tech wealth hoarders. But when spelled backwards, it says I'm a Nazi.
Are you kidding me?
No, he named his yacht Izanami, and when he finally realized it says I'm a Nazi backwards, he renamed it. So
How
unlike
do you get to Izanami in the first place?
I
Is
don't
that a
know.
thing? Is
I
that a
don't know.
place?
I just these people are. I've had enough. Again, just like Sergey Brin for this condescending statement about people figuring things out in weird corners. There should be a stupidity tax on Larry Ellison. It should be about like a 15% tax. I mean, I got to pay taxes. You know, like resort fees, even when I go to a hotel now, they make up all these taxes. So why aren't these guys? Why don't they have idiot taxes? Where's their idiot tax?
All right. Well,
What do you got?
Speaking of idiots, I have two, and they're just headline based. They're just the joke in the headline. First one: opposition to Elon Musk's AI stripping clothing off children is nearly universal. Polling
Nearly.
shows.
Okay, so
Nearly.
the pedophiles are for it.
Like 96. I read the article. 96% said they shouldn't be able to generate undressed images of minors. And I want to know: are they going to release the 4%? Like, who says?
Well, maybe
this is-
3% said I don't know. To be fair, maybe they didn't know.
Even then.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
like,
they were in a weird
nearly
corner
universal-
solving an algorithm for Alphabet.
Here's the worst
They
part of
couldn't
this.
focus on the question. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, here's the part that triggered. I almost put this in assholiest because it triggered me so much, but I couldn't because it was a little bit funny too. You realize the nearly universal number, the number of people who nearly universally agree that Elon Musk's XAI should not be able to undress children, is the same number of people who agree on average for every director
Every
elected.
director, yeah,
every single director
Yeah.
Everyone.
It might be getting worse because I tracked a lot of meetings this week for Proxy Content, and I saw a lot of like 99 plus, 99%
So the number
plus.
of people who agree on the fiduciaries you elect is the same as the number of people who agree on we shouldn't undress minors with AI.
All right. Okay.
I think that number should be different. I don't
Okay,
know.
keep
Here's
going.
the other one.
Yeah.
Jamie Dimon slams DOJ probe of Jerome Powell, warning investigation could stoke inflation. I just like that it wasn't Jamie Dimon says. It was Jamie Dimon slams.
Jamie had two kind of like not overtly anti-Trump gestures this week, but they're kind of in the ballpark. He also came against the cap. He wanted a 10% cap on.
Oh yeah, he didn't like that. Yeah.
So
And Trump said it's because he wants more money.
right, and whether it's self-serving or not, at least Jamie is at least still saying stuff.
No,
All right, let's go.
It'd be better
Keep
if he
going.
slammed more. Who won the week for you?
Well, as a callback to my Target story, to the silence of Target in their last press release, my winner is the aforementioned acclaimed interior designer Jeremiah Brent in his new exclusive bedding collection at Target. Because I mean, what could be more important, right? I mean, that God forbid you have like some gray sheets. Like this is important stuff, people. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care who is threatening my constituents, my customers, my employees. But we got Jeremiah Brent making some sheets. That's really what's important in America, is it not? So he's the winner, Jeremiah. Good for you, buddy.
Wow, that's a good one actually. I don't know if I could beat that. Mine is Rhode Island.
Is yours
because-
serious? Yeah.
Yeah, because the Revolution Wind project, which the Trump administration Secretary of Interior Doug Burgum,
Yes.
who I'm pretty
The
sure
mighty,
masquerades
intelligent
the
Doug Burgum,
mighty
yeah.
Doug, who masquerades as I think he drinks oil at home. He lost his argument that a wind farm would disrupt military radars, because if that was the case, can you
Yeah.
imagine, like, wouldn't you, like, China just put up wind farms all along the
Yeah, of
coast, and then
course.
the American military would be like, we can't
What a
see.
liar.
What's
That's
the
what you call a
China?
liar.
Where is it?
This is the
Fucking
guy.
idiots.
Speaking of Stanford, he got his MBA at Stanford. So he clearly
good.
they must have taught him to lie, to be a bullshit artist.
Stanford is the worst place in this
Yeah,
country,
and
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, go ahead. So that's your winners, Rhode
But
Island. I like that one.
Rhode
That's-
Island won because now 350,000 homes will be powered by wind, despite Trump trying to kill it. So good for you, Rhode Island. You
Yeah.
got a prediction for the week?
Okay, my prediction's a bit odd, so just bear with me on this one. And excuse me for trying to inject a little bit of levity into this horrible week. But okay, my prediction is that Target is going to very lazily repurpose an actual news feature it put out on October 20th. It had a news feature because I spent a lot of time on Target's website, on its investors'
much.
website and its public-facing website this week. They actually had a story, I couldn't believe it, called Target's Partnership with Rice Fueling a More Inclusive Economy, right? So all the MAGA all the Target weirdos, they're just gonna lazily repurpose that article to Target's partnership with ICE, fueling a more exclusive economy. See what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did. You just gonna
Target's
change-
partnership with Rice, fueling a more. I just thought it was weird that, of all things, they have a thing about their partnership with Rice, all in capital letters. It's weird
My
to me.
prediction is Target related too. My prediction is pretty simple. I predict that Brian Cornell, seeing the error of his ways in his total silence, actually leaves his high office at Target in Minneapolis, steps outside. He's seen outside ICE officer Jonathan Ross's house kneeling in solidarity while burning some gay pride merchandise.
This is
as
perfect. This is
tribute.
kind of like Jamie Dimon kneeled at a Chase Bank.
That's right. This is
And
the
Bill Ackman's
bookends.
paying money to Jonathan Ross. So yeah, why not, Brian Cornell? Why
This
don't
is
you
the
come out?
bookend.
Yeah.
Cornell, go to
Donate some money.
Jonathan
Donate
Ross's
your
house,
knee.
sit on one knee, and show the world what you think about it. That's all we got. That's Hazelnut Rollis. I'm your analyst, Matt Mascardi. We are free float. Come back next week when we've got more things to tell you about how horrible things. No, next week's going to be good.
Stop it.
It's going to be better. It's got to be better. Hopefully it's better. Until then, good